Thing I want you to do for me.
What?
Come here.
What?
Win.
What are we waiting for? Take it!
15 seconds left in the game. 10 seconds. Morris shoots it down the ice. Law makes the save. Ladies and gentlemen, the Flyers are going to win the Stanley Cup. In the Kareem, knocked away by Cheeks and a steal. Cheeks will use up the clock. Goes Malone. And that may do it. And look at the Sixer bench. They know it.
That defense, so right again, that defense comes up with the big play. Brad Lynch stretches. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Lines them up. He's back again. He steps up. He's hit. He stumbles. He is throwing it deep for the end zone, and it is batted around and incomplete. And the game is over. The game is over. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you.
Welcome to the Complex 4 for 4. I am your host, Willie Guns. And with me is my man, Scott Hughes, covering the Flyers.
What's going on, fellas?
Eric Moore, covering the Phillies. And
What's going on?
And later on, we will have Kyrie Goins covering the Sixers. Brand new to the show, Kyrie. But before we get started, let's talk about Old City Sports. Old City Sports is a network that was started by Jesse Bell and Wade and myself and pretty much the whole crew that we have right now. All these shows that we got going is we got Red Light Hockey Podcast. We got The Backstabbers, hosted by yours truly. We got the Complex 4 for 4 and our main show, Flyers Alley, which is with Jesse and Wade. And let's get into it, fellas. Scott, we're talking Flyers, brother. But before we talk Flyers, I can tell you right now that was a hell of an introduction. Eric, you did a great job. I wanted it that way, and you did it.
Thanks, man. I love that kind of stuff.
I had chills up and down my spine hearing that, man.
I still have chills, man.
Yeah.
Still have chills.
It was nice, dude. It was really nice. But thank you to Old City.
Man.
Thank you to Old City Sports.
It definitely gets a pump, man.
We're moving on up. All right,
Definitely.
Go ahead, Scotty, with that Flyers talk.
Oh, yeah. What can I say, boys? What can I say? Coming off of a 3-game losing streak, and we had 1 game in a shootout. I can say we actually won a shootout. That's not our strong suit, but, it had to come down to that against the Penguins. I thought we would have had that in regulation, but, obviously extra time was needed. But I'm going to get into the Washington games. 6-1 loss. First game we played against them. Just there was no fight at all. No fight from the defense, no fight from the offense. We couldn't control the puck well. And then that 6-3 loss. We were battling. We were trying to win. We had the first goal of the game. We were doing pretty well. Goaltender was looking pretty good. But, it just, we couldn't hold on. And, that's just something we need to, figure out as the playoffs comes up, because so far right now, there's either it's shit or get up the pot time. You either got to rebuild the whole team or you just got to, do something to get into the playoffs. Right now, it's so far looking like we have to beat Boston in regulation time, because we all know that we haven't beat Boston. We only beat Boston maybe once so far this season.
How many games we have left?
It's just, We got about like 13 games left in the season. So we have to do something before this season ends. As we all know, Carter Hart is out with a lower body injury. We don't know when he's coming back. We brought a new guy up, Wade Allison. He had his first NHL goal against Washington. That 6-3 loss. He made his debut on the 15th. So they're saying he's a player to watch out for now. I think if you can mold him, I think he'd be pretty good for the fit for the Flyers. But we have to wait and see. With tonight's game tonight, we have the New York Islanders at 6:30. So, I mean, we gotta kick something off here. We can't just go out there blind. We have to get shots on net as much as we can, and Jesse Bell. I just saw his comments come up. 12 games left. My bad.
Now, what are we going to do? What do we have to do? Do we have to, if we went in those games, if we won 9 of those games or so, would that do something?
It's a matter of getting our defense, and offense on the same page. Our offense, I mean, they seem to be picking up, but our defense is just not helping the goaltending out. A goaltender is as good as the defense in front of them. You can't just leave, you said in the past couple of shows, you can't leave your goaltender out high and dry like that. Now that we have Hart out with his injury, we have Brian Elliott and we have Lyon as our backup. So I think that's a great pair for right now until Hart is healthy again. But it's just a matter of finding that consistency. And if we don't have that consistency, then what's the point? What are you going to do?
Yeah, lose.
What do you guys think about these past games? I mean, there's 3 games that we lost, and what are you going to do about it?
It's the end. What do you think, Eric? Is it the end?
What was that?
Do you think it's the end? What do you think? For the Flyers.
I think this pretty much is a done deal for the Flyers. I really do. Trust me, I'm a huge Flyers fan. I've been a Flyers fan since I was a kid, but this team is not who they were back in the day. This team hasn't been playing like they were back when it was the Lindros, Leclerc, Eric Desjardins kind of days where they were actually able to make it to the playoffs almost every year. But it's not how it was before. I think this team needs to be, as Jesse would say it, this team needs to blow up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I always say you got to trade away those veterans, man. You got to do a master rebuild, master cleanse, if you want to call it that. I don't know. I know they have some really good talent that they got to bring up, so it's time to move those veterans out. I don't care if you bring another veteran. I just don't want the players that are on this team anymore. I don't even want Giroux, to be honest with you. I think it's time to send Giroux somewhere else. Let him win a Stanley Cup or something. Guys had a long career, and it just seems like right now playing for the Flyers is just damaging to your career. You know what I mean? They're not winning. They haven't won. When's the last time they won? When's the last time the Flyers won?
What do you mean?
Last time
Stanley Cup, Lord Stanley.
74-75, man.
Exactly. That's what it's insane.
All I got to say.
Jesse Bell checks in. Hart's injury was a last-minute thing in practice.
73, 74, 74, 75, they won it. 75 was the last playoff season they won it.
Yeah. So Elliott was practicing, and he wasn't ready. Lyon was in Lehigh, not even at practice due to COVID protocol.
Ooh.
So Jesse's saying he thinks, all in all, he played well, but they had no practice with Lyon, so that game was a disaster. He's talking about the 6-3 game he's talking about.
Yeah.
That was – I mean, you hang your goalie out to dry, like I always say, dude. That's what's going to happen. And every single time – I only seen the highlights. I didn't watch that game. But watching the highlights, it was – Washington just could do whatever they wanted to. And allowing Ovechkin that much room –
Ovi was all over them, man.
Allowing him that much room I just don't get it. He was one-timers, everything. Snap shots.
God. Oh, you just have to cover a player like Ovechkin. I mean, he's been in the league since he was 18 years old, and it was just absolutely like, how can you let him take that shot? You know it's going to go right in. He's got a powerful shot. So
it just sucks that you just keep giving up so many goals a game. It's an embarrassing season, man. It's amazing that they aren't that they're still kind of in a playoff hunt. Like it's going down. Don't get me wrong, but it's just crazy. They pull these wins off that we don't even get it anymore. Go ahead, Scott.
It's unexpected, is what it is now. Like with these games, but I mean, if we just have to pull off this win tonight, and then we have to keep going from there. We have to. I think it's just more or less studying the tapes of our mistakes, and if we can find our mistakes and then work on them in each practice, we might be able to pull something off. But as of right now, it's not looking too hot.
Let the young guys play.
Yeah, pretty much. The young guys are hungry. The young guys are ready. And like I said, Wade Allison, they're saying he's a young player to look for. And with his first NHL goal, it was a nice beauty. He was at the right team, right place at the right time. Sorry for the little stutter there.
It's a nice catch. It's a nice catch and shoot with that puck.
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
With that puck. It was.
Yeah, he's looking good for those 2 games that he played. But let's just see how he does tonight and then further on. So I mean, if he can keep continuing the way he's going, I think he might be a player we need.
So we got the Islanders tonight at 6:30. What do you think? You think that's a laydown game? You think or they're going to play their hearts out? What's going to happen here?
They don't want to be embarrassed again. They don't. We got to back Moose up. Our defense has to be there. They can't just keep laying down and be like, oh, we're going to let him skate right in, or they're going to come in a 3-on-2 and we're not going to cover them. You can't do that. The goaltender's going to give up 9 times out of 10.
We're going to get left flat-footed, and that's it. The Islanders are fast, dude.
They are
the Islanders
quick, man.
Are fast. I
Look
can't
at Barzell.
Yeah.
They got Barzell.
Barzell's disgusting, dude. Barzell's disgusting.
He's got a great shot. He's quick, and he knows what to do with the puck, man.
He's a Flyers killer. You always get those players, and he's a Flyers killer. Obviously, he destroyed our playoff last year, and that was insane. He's a freak of nature. I wish we had a player like him. Put it that way.
Oh, dude, it'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's just tonight. We have to put it down. We can't. Give up so easily, and we have to come out swinging. If we get that first goal of the game and run with it, we're golden. But if we get that first goal of the game and we get too cocky, it's just not going to be good.
I'm going to hold you to that. We get the first goal of the game. You think we have a chance?
If we can actually get the momentum going after that first goal and not just fuck up.
That's what we will do, though. That's exactly what we'll do.
It's a Philly thing. It's a Philly thing, man.
All right, so that's all we got, Scott, for the Flyers. I mean, you got anything else, Eric? We cool with that?
Not much I can say besides I think for the Flyers, I think for them, I think if they can pull off the win this game, I think they're trying to show that they're trying to be somebody. I'll say that if they pull off this win, they maybe give me some hope, but to be honest, there's too much that has to go through in order to have a win, losses, and everything else. So
it's sad.
I'd rather wait and I'd rather them just drop it, end it, and just try to get a decent draft pick.
Give it a yard sale, 100% clean out. If we don't win, hands down.
Agreed. Definitely agree on that, man.
Yeah, if we get a good yard sale, we get some good draft picks, get some good players coming up from the Lehigh or Lehigh Valley Phantoms, then or some good minor league players who are ready and hungry, and we can mold them. We'll have a great team next year. But this is just something we have to do. It's either like I said, shit or get off the pot. You don't just let something like that slip out of your hands.
Well, that's it. Scott, that's all we got for the Flyers, man. So you can go about your day, man. Thanks for the talk, brother. Scott Hughes, Flyers
Remember,
talk.
6:30 tonight. We got Islanders. Elliott's starting, so let's go Flyers. Talk to you guys later.
There you go. Fly guys. Fly high. And there it is. Scott is gone. Then there were two.
And just before he left, I just saw this came up that let everybody know Moose is starting tonight. So get ready for the Moose.
All right. So we're going to jump into Phillies talk.
Oh.
What do you got to say about that? I knew that was coming. I knew that. I knew it, man. When you were all excited and everything, I'm like, it's not gonna end well. Watch, it's not. It's just not gonna end well.
It's been very, very hectic with this damn team. It's like I'm pulling my hair out. It's like they lost this whole week. They only got one win out of the whole week, and that's including having a doubleheader game, which sucks. I hate to say it, but it's understandable. Baseball's a marathon. There's not much we can do about it. We're going to have our hot streak, we're going to have our cold streaks, which it's understandable. So with the Phils, it's like they look like they're showing their colors again, how they are in April.
Mm-hmm.
April, they are one of the most hot and cold teams out there. Better than the Yankees right now, to be honest, but they are very hot and cold. They're not showing that the pitching is not there. They're not hitting the right spots for it. The fielding is getting better. And unfortunately, from last night's game, Harper actually was out last night with a lower body tightness in his back, which is, like I said, we all get hurt. We all need to stretch out. But like for the stats right now so far for the game so far, like with one of our best guys, Harper, like he's now at a 238 batting average. He already has 2 home runs off of 10 hits.
Okay.
Which, it's like I said, it's really good. It's like his good start is not his average, but he's doing really better. But like out of all the guys, like our top star players, the one who's playing really well is JT. He has He has 13 hits off of 45 at bats at an average of a 302.
Yeah, JT, baby.
JT, he has it. Like I think it's great. Like I said, we got him back. But right now, I think right now we need to do is we need to focus on trying to get the pitching back up, trying to get the starting pitchers to find their location, get them to trying to trick the batters, because that's where it comes down to. Like even the Mets and the Braves are really good teams. There's hands down no about it. But like with the St. Louis Cardinals, I think we should have been. I think this series we're going to sweep them, not sweep them, but like win the series since we lost last night. But it's a lot. It's a lot trying to explain how this team's going. But the bullpen, I love. I love the bullpen. I'll say that for a fact.
You love the bullpen.
Yes.
That's sad though. When you talk about your team and then you say, "Oh, I love the bullpen."
Like the starting pitching roles are great, but the only thing is they're not, like I said, they're not throwing, they're not hitting the right marks that they need to do. And it's like, plus Girardi did a big screw up in the one Mets game they played. He came out twice. Once to talk to the manager, but if you come out in the same inning twice, you automatically have to take out that pitcher out. You only can do one up to a mound per inning. He went up to him talking about him. He's about to talk to him again, and he totally forgot. We lost Wheeler in the 4th inning.
Now, do you think that with the Phillies, do you think their bats will start getting hot because of the weather when it starts getting more warm, or is it just you're seeing the identity of the team?
Right now, it's too early to call with seeing the identity right away. But I think for them, once the weather gets warmer and the ball, because like mind you, these are brand new baseballs that they're using. They're more of a hollow core baseball. They're supposed to be meant to not have a lot of home runs, not a lot of runs being batted in. That they already said from comparison from the last season, from the baseballs to this year's season, it's actually it's a lot earlier with these balls going further than it was than last year. There's been more home runs in the beginning of the season than by the end of the next season.
Guys are in that weight room. Guys are working on hand and eye coordination, all that.
But like the balls, like not mind you, they never trained with the baseballs. These baseballs in spring training, they didn't start using them until home opener.
Thanks, Liam. He likes the backdrop. Nice. Yay. Fan of the show.
But what's your opinion with this team? I want to hear what you think about how so far with 2 weeks.
You know how I feel about baseball in general anymore, to be honest with you. I feel like baseball just hasn't been baseball, man. A lot of shit changed with it. You know, they have instant replay now in it. And I mean, I hate the way it drags. I mean, they tried to speed the games up. They didn't. That's how I feel about baseball. But the Phillies in general, I always love the Phillies, no matter what. I'm going to cheer for them, whether I'm watching them, whether I'm not watching them. But usually with the other three teams a little bit first. I think the Phillies are peaking too early. Yeah, as in the first 6 games.
Yeah, but they're peaking a little bit too early. They're showing their colors who they are, but it's like we all said, it's a marathon. It's just you got to keep pacing yourself. Like this is the first time for me why I see the Yankees how they are this year. Like this is their first time I actually see them being the worst team in the AL this year.
There's only one exciting player now. It's sad. There's only one really excited player on the Phillies, and it's Harper.
It's good back and forth. Like right now, it's like Harper's the most exciting player because he's actually taking the initiative to being that superstar president. But
Rhys Hoskins, but that's a big drop. You know what I mean, from Harper. You know, it's
right.
It's what else do you got? There ain't nothing else, Eric. You know it. Like,
but
is it embarrassing the Yankees? Is that what he's talking about? The Yankees are embarrassing.
And then he comes up with that.
I mean, you know, it's tough when you talk to a Yankees fan, man, because they have all those damn World Series. So what do you do?
27 rings, and we only have 2 of these.
You can't even talk. It's like, all right, go ahead, enjoy your ring. I can't even talk about the Phillies. Phillies just suck. That's it.
But
they're going to suck too, man. There ain't nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I know. But I will say this: there's one good thing out of all this that came through with that Atlanta game. You hear about the story about the kid who gave up the Freddie Freeman home run ball. He's a Phillies fan. He gave up a home run ball to a younger kid of his who had a Freddie Freeman jersey handed to him. So the very next game, they got invited back to the next game. Freddie Freeman gave the kid a signed autographed ball. And on this ball, it said Freddie Freeman signed, and he goes, well, I'm a Phillies fan. He turned the ball over. Underneath it, Bryce Harper signed it as well. It was autographed by him. So then this Friday on Sports Center, they did a Good Feeling Morning. They had him on. They talked to him about it because he's from North Carolina. They drove down to go see the game. Then Harper came on. Harper said that he actually is, once the season gets better and the weather's nicer, ESPN and Bryce Harper is paying them airfare and tickets to go to a game up here. The kid's going to be able, and his father's going to be able to actually spend time with Harper and the whole entire Phils down at BP practice and actually enjoy the game in right field with Harper.
Wow, man. That's pretty friggin' awesome.
Yeah, I think it's great. What's this?
Phillies and the Flyers had the same start to both of their seasons. Strong at the start. Hopefully they don't lose momentum. Hey, man, I agree with you right there, Jess. It's the Phillies do this all the time to you, man. I remember, I forget what was it, 2 seasons ago, where we all thought that they were going to be good, and then they just fell apart. They were really bad. The bullpen couldn't close a game. It was that bad.
Like even now, like they're still trying to find a closer, to find their identity with the closer. Like their closer's not there. Like they keep trying Nectar Harris, and I'm like, no, don't use him. Don't use Nectar. Nectar sucks. He wasn't really good when we brought him in 3 years ago.
I think also this baseball season is still tough because of the pandemic and everything. I think it's still not where the players. I don't think the players are still where they where they should be. It sucks because we can stay at home. We can be safe. We can do this. They're constantly around COVID. It's out there. You know what I mean? So that's already on their minds as it is. And then they got to play a game. They got to meet each other. COVID's out. Okay, this guy's out. This guy's out. There's fans now.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to – I mean, that's the way it is. I still don't think baseball's fully back the way it should be. And Liam said there is a kid in the AA for Texas who has a whip of .6 and like 60 strikeouts so far. It's wild. Wow. Okay. That's something. That's something. I mean, the Phillies, they just like Eric said, we always say this. It's the identity. You're not. What's your identity now? It's we're gonna score some runs, and then the bullpen's gonna come in, and they're gonna blow the game. That's been going on for years. But you said you think the bullpen's promising, Eric. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really see that. I don't see anything promising on this team, to be honest with you.
It's understandable, but I just did a little update.
Already struggling.
Yeah, no, I did a little update on the bottom, so you see the little scroll. The Phillies are winning on the top of the second at 1-0.
Yay. That doesn't do too much. Let's see if we can get Kyrie on now. See if you get Kyrie on. Kyrie, if you're watching, get ready. Because we're about to introduce everybody to Kyrie Goins.
I just got he just messaged on the other side of the board. He said that he's at 55%. He'll be ready in a moment. He said he's just ready to go. He'll be clicking over in 1 moment.
Nice. And he comes into that. Phillies talk, we're done with that, man. That's depressing, dude. That's a buzzkill.
It really is. It's rough. I'm upset with it. Trust me. Like, I don't like him much as myself, but it's right now. Like I said, it's early in the season right now. There's not much we can do at the moment. The season's young. We're just now about to get out of April. Once May hits, things should start waking up. The bat should be a little bit better. The pitching should actually learn a little bit more, and Girardi should start using his pitching knowledge to
That's
actually
what we hope.
that we use.
That's what we hope for. That's exactly what we hope for. There ain't too much you can do when you got to play that many damn games, and you're consistently staying around 500, going a little bit below. I just can't stand it. It's always, every time you look at the Phillies record, it's 500.
It's 500, under 500. If it's above 500, you're lucky. Yeah.
We're above 3 games. Now we're below 3 games. Oh, the Phillies are on the winning streak, but yet they're only at 500. It's like, how's that happen? I don't get it. I really don't.
I don't know. Like, the team finds out how to win, and all of a sudden they just crap it. That's all. That's pretty much where it's at. They just crap the bucker. That's it.
Phillies, man, they suck. They really do. Well, Kyrie's going to talk Sixers, but we can mess around and talk a little bit about the Eagles before he gets on, because we're just not going to sit here and keep talking Phillies. I ain't doing that. No way. So with the Eagles, the exciting thing is next year, really, I think. I don't think it really is this year. Those draft picks, possibly having 3 first-rounders, especially if Wentz has a decent year. So you can possibly next year, I think. The problem is most rookies aren't going to come in and destroy shit, So I'd say the Eagles probably have like a 3-year window, a straight 3-year window. What do you think, Eric? About a 3-year window?
I think I'll get. I think the idea is pretty much to be the idea about a 3-year window, but. You know how he's going to try to work it. He's going to try to push it and trying to give it less than probably about 2 years instead of being the 3-year window and all. And it's going to be a rough season for us. Like, us Eagles fans, we like it there, done. Give us the win there, the championship.
So you got the 12th pick in the draft. It's coming up. There he is. Kyrie, welcome.
What's going on, man?
Welcome to the complex.
Yes, sir.
Kyrie. Kyrie, introduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah. Kyrie, here to do the old Sixers here.
He's not
And,
he's not related to Patrick Holmes. He's not related to Patrick Mahomes.
No way. Or Steph.
But he's got good genes, though. He's got good genes. My man's got some good genes. So let's go. Let's go, Kai. We were just talking about some Eagles, man.
What'd you say, man?
We were talking about that 12th pick.
Oh, sheesh. More worried about the other three. What do you call it? Next season. But 12, man. I'm looking for Patrick Surtain at best. I want Kyle Pitts. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he's gonna be a freak of nature.
Yeah, but who knows if we'll get him? But I'll do or JC Horn. I'll take JC Horn too. I need somebody on defense.
I actually want to see more possibly come up here because everybody's like talking about him, how he's actually almost like the next Tyree. I forget his last name from KC.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. It's like how his similarity, his height, his timing with the run, with the 60-yard run, the ability how he's able to jump and catch the ball. I think that's the next one because we had a bust with Jalen Reagor for that draft, and I think we at least get it like by so far. But if we can get, I think with the wide, like get it, like I know everybody says we don't need a wide receiver. We kind of do need a wide receiver. We need to get Jalen actually a good target to be able to throw that ball to and get it down the line because. Yes, the kid can move, but there's going to be times where that he needs to get at least that ball quick, and hopefully, and someone can catch that ball for him.
Yeah, if they would have kept their original pick, I wanted, Jamar Chase or what's the other dude's name? Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
I'll take either one of them two. The receiver that you named, he's like regular size.
Elijah Moore.
Yeah, he's like regular size. So like. I don't need another small receiver. I need somebody big. I need a big receiver. And the Whiteside, like, he's all right, but he's not, not the biggest fan. Not yet, at least.
Whiteside. Oh, my God. Mr. Umbrella. Under my umbrella. He's bad, dude. Whiteside's the biggest.
Look, I didn't want to say it, but, like, man, not a fan.
Nah, no one is, man. It's could you imagine being that guy? Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh God,
you got to prove me wrong, but
it's embarrassing, man. He's still on the team?
Mm-hmm. He's the only big receiver they got.
Let's see what happens.
Besides Fulgham, but he's bigger than Fulgham, I think, right?
I love Fulgham. I love Fulgham, man. But at the same time, he struggled at the end of the year. I don't know if coverage has figured him out. What do you think, Kai? What do you think that was?
I think it had more to do with the blocking and Wentz not getting the ball out versus him not really getting open.
Yeah. Do you think Wentz just like gave up on the team once they drafted Jalen Hurts?
Partially, but I also think the blocking was getting in his head. He couldn't have time. He didn't have any time for anything. So it seemed like he's getting nervous. What did Jesse say?
Dig in the front, stoop background, Kai. Good Kai.
I'm on the balcony. Nah, I don't know, man. I think the blocking was getting in his head.
Cold out there? You cold out there?
Nah, it's nice out. It's nice out, man. I just didn't want to wake up the wifey and the baby. That's all.
Hey,
I know that.
I was like, I'm going outside, man.
All right, so let's say the 12th pick, Parsons is there. He falls to you. Do you take him?
Parsons?
It's very inviting.
It is, man. But I'm me personally. Ah, man.
You want a corner, don't you?
I do. I need somebody to help Darius Slay out.
Then you know what I would do? Hell with it, man. I draft a corner first round, right? And then second round, I draft another corner. Hell, you need a secondary. Like he just said, you got to help out Slay.
Slay needs some help. Mills wasn't the greatest, but he still helped a little bit. He's quick.
Slay got cooked by DK Metcalf, man. Oh, my God.
I mean, but DK Metcalf is like massive.
Yeah.
He's giant.
Dude, Slay had a rough year last year, man.
Yeah, he did. But like, if you could somehow get Sertan out of this, and man, that'd be lovely. I'll take Sertan.
Oh, he was a captain of a secondary of an Alabama team. That's not easy to do, man. He plays like a safety.
Man. Yeah.
And
he's a good size corner.
Yeah. With him,
size corner.
Yeah, with him, you're going to get in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is going to be a monster over that middle. He breaks on the ball real quickly. He reads plays. He handles the guy well in motion, man. I was watching a few of his games on his film. He just reads that quarterback's eyes. He's good, dude. Sertan's the guy I want. If he falls to us, I would take him. But I think he's going to be gone.
Yeah, I do too.
Dallas might take him.
Oh, lovely.
Doesn't that always happen? Doesn't that always happen?
Always happens.
Ah, well,
always.
The Eagles aren't getting him now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was me last year with CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, that was me last year with CeeDee Lamb. Feelings was hurt.
I kind of got pissed. They could have like did with Cowboys. Like they could have been able to move up and get somebody, even get Jefferson, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. He was there. I was screaming at the friggin' TV. I was like, Jefferson, yes, we're gonna get to. Next thing you know, Jalen Reagor.
It's like I heard stories about it.
I was like, who is this guy?
It's like I got told by the only thing I found out about him is when I was listening to 94 WIP when they were talking about. I'm like, who is this kid? It's like I heard this name, that name. I'm like, who the hell is Jalen Reagor? It's like same thing with coming down to where you hear about this other North Dakota quarterback coming up. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
How stupid can you be?
As soon as they said Reagor, I said who, and I went straight to YouTube for the highlight reel.
Yeah, I did the same.
I was like, who is this? Who is him? But I don't mind him. I think in our new offense, our new offense will have him working a lot of screens, so it's gonna be nice for him.
They say he works hard. He's a really hard worker. So
I like Reagor.
So you know what? When I watched the film on him when he got drafted, I had to be a little optimistic. I was like, you know what? Let's see what he does. And then he did have some decent plays. Yeah.
I was surprised when they drafted him, but I did want Jefferson. But I took him anyway.
Yeah. Jefferson
anyway.
Jefferson would have, I don't know if he would have had a great year with us because Wentz wasn't getting rid of the football and shit.
Yeah.
So we don't really know there. Zach Ertz took a shit last year. And I think that the fact that Zach Ertz still thinks that he deserves money after that season like that, I don't know. What do you think the Eagles are going to do with Zach Ertz? Is he going to be is he trade bait?
I think he is trade bait. I think he is trade bait for sure. For sure. Just because he is good and everyone knows he's good, but you also have Goddard.
Yeah.
So like you could get a good tight end and pay way less money.
You can
take someone off and get even something better in return, something we need.
Well, there's a big drop from salary wise when you move from 6 to 12. So I can see that the Eagles are definitely trying to save money there, and there's rumors that they could possibly even trade back even further.
I really hope they don't.
What do you think, Eric?
With them, we're only trying to trade back. That means they're really desperate in trying to either trying to rebuild this team down from the ground up, or they're trying to save cap space due to the fact that with that hit when they gave up Wentz in that trade and with that damn $100-something million contract, it hit the Eagles hard enough to where that they're pedaling down to maybe like from having hundreds of millions down to like fucking almost thousands left.
Yeah, you made up a good point. That's what I was going to bring up, and I totally forgot. So now I can bring it up. $33 million to do nothing with. $33 million. That's 3 really good players. That's 2 great players.
Yeah,
and that's 4 or 5 decent players.
And that's actually good for a good. That's money for that would have been good at getting a decent free agent.
Yeah, you're handicapped. The Eagles are straight handicapped because of Carson Wentz wanting to get traded. And the fact that you did it. The fact that you did it, you just ruined the team. But at the same time, you have 3 possible first-round picks next year. So,
Yeah,
and if you trade back, you get more.
Here's the question I have for both of you. Maybe answer this. Do you think they're trying to do the same thing that the Sixers did when they did the trust the process?
Tank
it.
Trying to get a first overall pick and then having multiple other picks in the first round, like the Sixers did, but only think the Sixers only took 2 of the draft picks from the first round and then traded away the rest.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I didn't even look at it that way. I
you
thought
think they're in tank mode? I honest to God don't think Serrani can afford that unless they already had that talk.
Yeah, I don't think it's tank mode. I just think they're trying to figure it out.
It's like I hope not, because I say it with the Phils, us Philadelphia fans, we are most dire because we want one another of these. We want another one of these.
Yes,
and the only way that's we're going to get it is going to be we're trying to rebuild the team to where it's successful, young, talented players where we can be able to push through it, and with some veterans leading them up. But with a very minimum salary cap, there's shit you can do. Only thing you can do this year is almost a tanking kind of move.
You're going to have a really young, hungry team.
Mm-hmm.
So you might, if they draft the right talent, if this 12th pick is like Parsons or Surtain or Jace Horn, you said, right?
Yeah, JC Horn.
Or Pitts falls to you never know what's going to happen if you trade up and you get somebody. But the second round pick is going to be, I think, more important than anything because he's going to have to start.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got 33 million just gone. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to start the second and probably the third round draft pick that you get in this draft. So you can't shit the bet on it. You cannot shit the bet on this draft. If you do, then your team's going to suck, of course. But then next year, it's about rebuilding with those draft picks. And that's pretty much it for the Eagles, I think, man. I think we're going to get into some Sixers talk.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. So, first, I just want to say we had probably a good week of basketball. Monday, we had that win against the Mavericks, 113-95. Wednesday, we beat the, the Nets. Beat the Nets, which is what we're going to talk about. And Friday, we beat the Clippers, but it was a close game, but I'm not really worried about that one at all. But Wednesday, playing the Nets, only Kyrie, closer than I wanted it to be. With only Kyrie. My question to you guys, you think we can beat them in a 7-game series with a full healthy Nets team?
You want to go first, Eric?
Sure. I think we can, as long as we have Ben and MB. We have Ben and MB healthy, not sitting on the bench, not lounging around. Hopefully, like with having them healthy and all, having Seth healthier, to going through this thing. I think we can pull it off. It's going to take a little more pressure in trying to hold back KD, because I grew up a KD fan when he was with Oakland and not Oakland, sorry, Oklahoma City. He is power dominant. He's a team player. He shows that team where the compassion, where it needs to lead, and then adding those two other guys with him as well. You're pretty much looking at almost like the Lakers team all over again. So it's going to be hard, but we can do it. I think we can pull it off, and I think if we pull it off decently, I think we will definitely make it in. I'll say we'll make it into the finals.
That's the only team we really need to worry about. I'm not worried about Milwaukee too much.
Them or Toronto, to be honest.
Yeah, Toronto is kind of going downhill. Not as bad, but they're downhill.
I think the Nets will pick it up, man. I think the Nets are going to go into the playoffs on fire.
Mm-hmm.
They're just too talented. I think that if we shut down 2 of them, one's going to go off, and that's how you got to beat them.
I was going to say the same exact thing. Somebody's going to be going off. He's got to make sure the rest of them don't. The rest of them cannot.
If all three of them are on, dude, like we could be swept.
Yeah, for sure, swept.
Who
are you putting on who? those 4 guys, who are you going to put on?
Right.
I'll tell you.
That's
Kevin
a tough
Durant. Do you
I'm
think
telling-
Ben's got to try to stick Kevin Durant? Or
I think that's the best option. Defensive Player of the Year. Heard it first. No. Yeah. Best. That's. Yeah, you got to put him on him because they're about the same size. James Harden. I'm gonna say
Tobias.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tobias. And the reason why, and James Harden is too shifty for Tobias, I think.
Yeah.
But Tobias is bigger, so he can use his length a little bit better, and still contest those step back jumpers and whatever else he wants to do. Kyrie.
He would destroy Seth Curry.
Yeah, I think Danny Green for the same reason as Tobias. But if he's not in the game, I'm throwing Thibault on him.
That's what you might have to do.
Throwing Thibault on him.
Yeah, let's say Thibault just pest the shit at a Kyrie Irving. We already got Big Ben handling his shit with Durant. And then we're going to take Tobias Harris and throw him on James Harden. And then Embiid's guarding the lane. Because those Nets guys, they could get to the lane.
Yeah, and James loves the James loves the drive oop every time he drives to this what's his name? DeAndre Jordan.
It's pretty much like the NBA wants that, and I feel good that this like before it was when we played Toronto. Me and you actually watched that game together, Kai.
Yeah, man, feelings was hurt.
Yeah. Me and him were literally almost crying, both of us.
I was like, bro, no way.
And it's like the thing is when he shot that, I knew it was going in.
Me too.
It's that type of player that Kawhi Leonard is. And don't count him out ever. Don't count that guy out. That guy's in the playoffs. Get ready, dude. It can still happen, but you would have to face him in the finals, though. Yeah. I don't think he could get by that Lakers team.
Not without the help of Paul George, and Paul George isn't doing his thing like he used to.
Now,
for some reason.
Do you think the Lakers are going to the finals?
Yeah, because LeBron. You know what LeBron's going to do. He's going to come off this high ankle sprain like next week or the week after. And him and AD are both going to magically come back, and they're going to be great all over again.
I have a question with this one. When it comes down to it's an NBA kind of thing that's going on. Like they've been talking a bit about it on the radio. They've been talking about it on a lot of sports scores. Do you think that a lot of the NBA players don't care much about the season to where that because like a lot of them they don't play their hardest, but they save all their energies for the playoffs? Do you think that's where a lot of these main stars' logics go towards?
It depends on the team, I think. Like teams like the Lakers, LeBron and AD put them out there, put them up in the top of the West, and then like, all right, I'm hurt. I'll take as long as I need to because we're already up here and we're not going to not make playoffs. And then they'll just kick off and do their thing, playoff time. But like teams like New York, the Knicks, they probably are playing their heart out all season. Like look at Julius Randle.
Yeah,
he's crazy right now.
I know, right?
He's going crazy right now.
Late bloomer.
He's always been like that. He's always been like that. He just hasn't. I guess I don't even know what the word is. Taken over or given the team, if you will, like a LeBron role. I think he just got that role now.
I think I think with the NBA now is I think that those first round draft picks sometimes take a little while now to really develop more than like back in the day. You know what I mean? So Randall's coming into his own. It takes a little while. Like James Harden wasn't great at the beginning. He was decent. He was very decent.
Yeah, he was good. He was decent, but he wasn't like this now.
Yeah, and Kyrie Irving had his struggles at the beginning, but now look at him.
But that was a LeBron-less Cavaliers team.
Yeah.
That was a trash team he went to.
Plus, it's hard to try and get players like out of the draft, getting another Michael Jordan, getting another LeBron, getting a Kobe, getting a or Dirk. like something like that, they're hard players to find nowadays. Like even like a lot of the guys now, like you're not allowed to draft out of high school. The NBA is not allowed to draft out of high school anymore. You have to have at least a year of college basketball underneath your belt before you can even think about going to the NBA.
Yeah.
Right? Well, in the past, some high school guys got drafted. They played well, and some didn't.
I think the last two was like Lou Williams and LeBron was the last two out of high school.
Kevin Garnett too, right? Kevin Garnett came out of high school.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and he turned out to be a very good player. But LeBron by far.
Yeah.
And actually Kobe.
Kobe, yeah.
Wow. So see, I mean, and then you got DeJuan Wagner.
We got all about DeJuan Wagner. Wow.
DeJuan Wagner. Willie Dunn's coming up with the NBA. There you go.
Yeah, man. DeJuan Wagner. Holy crap.
Yeah. DeJuan Wagner, right. He had a 100-point game in his high school. That's what got him into the NBA, man. They like that. And then when he got into the NBA, he was hot trash. That's the way
he was all right. He wasn't hot trash.
He had some decent games, okay?
Yeah, he was okay. He wasn't.
I don't know. You score 100. You score 100 points in high school.
They're kids you're playing, man. That's a grown man playing with kids. That's a grown man playing with kids, man. That's a grown man. You kid's probably 5'2".
All right, so
6'4".
you think it's the Nets, no matter what? It's going to be the Nets at the Sixers.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. The Bucks might give us a little bit of a problem, but really it's Giannis and then who else? Chris Middleton.
Mm-hmm.
And we got 4 good defenders and a defensive team finally.
I think it also depends on Doc Rivers. Does he get this team ready? And I think Doc has.
That's what I think the difference is. Why we play so much different on defense. It's because Doc is like focusing on being a defensive team, and then the offense comes. I think with Brett, it was like he didn't know if he wanted offense or defense because we have both. Now we have even more offense, but even more defense.
Now, do you think Danny Green will have a good playoff?
I hope so. He's been shooting what? After the All-Star break, he's been shooting like 42% or something, right? 41, 40-something. I'm pretty sure. So I think he's.
I know you're a Danny Green fan. I know you are, right, Kai?
I like Danny Green. I always have since he was on San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Danny Green's nasty, dude. He has a lot of playoff experience.
Yeah, San Antonio years. You
were missing that on all these previous Sixers teams. So now you brought a guy in that's a champion.
But you also been missing shooting.
Yep.
We have a lot of shooting now, or a good amount.
Dude, does anybody miss JJ Redick running around the court trying to get open for a 3 and just shooting it when he catches it?
No, you imagine if it was him and Seth on the floor at the same time.
You couldn't defend that.
No way.
No. Now that's another guy. That's a guy that I would love to see really step up in the playoffs.
Seth.
Yeah, Seth.
Yeah.
Seth, definitely.
I like Seth. Not as good as his brother, obviously, but he's still, man. He's got a great jumper. Great 3-ball, great way to spread the floor.
I just think that the Sixers are so talented that it's he seems like one of the most unselfish players that I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, Seth is awesome.
And Big Ben, I mean, he's defensive player of the year, what people are saying now.
Yeah, man. They would see between him and Rudy Gobert, and I mean, he said it. He dropped 42 on Rudy Gobert, so.
I know, and Ben's not. And then Ben goes, "I'm not a scorer."
Oh, yeah.
Ben goes, and I'm not a scorer.
And he probably didn't even shoot the ball.
I like that's what I would definitely like to talk about. The confidence of Big Ben now, the shit talking, this trash talking. I love it.
Yeah, I like it.
I love it. Michael Jordan did it. Kobe Bryant did it. I don't know. Does LeBron do it? Not really. Does he? Is he as big a trash talker as Jordan and Kobe was?
LeBron's a trash talker, but he does it in a different way.
Okay.
He just says like little slick stuff, and he's bloating, but he's also LeBron James.
And most of the time when LeBron's on the court, the team that's playing him is like freaking starstruck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also like, what, 250, 6'8", 6'9", running that fast right down the lane. I don't want to step in front of him.
Nah,
That's why it seems like it's so easy for him because he's running that fast and strong.
And playoff LeBron is
That's
probably
a different Bron.
probably the most dangerous player I've seen in a long time.
Playoff Bron.
We're
crazy.
talking 40, 48 and 8, something like that he'll get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then he'll have a night where he'll go 43, 13, and 10. I've seen him do it all.
I think in the playoffs he'll probably average. He'll probably average or close to a triple-double.
Yeah. Now what about Big Ben in the playoffs?
Was he averaging?
What do you think Big Ben's going to do in the playoffs?
I
think
think he's going to
play the same way, or is he going to turn it up?
I think he's going to do what he's doing now, but I don't think he really needs to change it. I don't think he really needs to turn it up that much.
So then it's Embiid then.
Yeah, I think Embiid's going to have his 30 and 40 points, somewhere between 12 and 18 rebounds a game.
And I think that when the Sixers are going to be able to actually focus on a team, I think they're going to be scary. I think the Sixers can really mollywop the shit out of most of the East except the Nets.
Yeah.
I'm not really afraid of Milwaukee. I'm not.
I think the only person that'll give Embiid a hard time is Anthony Davis. And that's only because he's just as tall, if not taller, longer, I think. I think his arms are longer. And
you're going finals right there.
Yeah, that's the only way. I'm just saying. What's his face isn't going to stop him. DeAndre Jordan.
So Big Ben. See, that's the thing. If we just get to the finals, I think we're probably the only team that can take the Lakers. I really do. That's up well against the Lakers. We really.
I think I think it comes down to whoever between Philly and Brooklyn.
Do you think Brooklyn can take the Lakers?
Yeah, if they're all shooting on, if they're all doing their thing, Durant's the LeBron killer, man.
Yeah,
He's the LeBron killer. He's my favorite player, Durant.
Kevin Durant.
And then you got Kyrie. Who's guarding Kyrie?
Right.
Who's guarding James Harden?
They can all go off for 40, 50 points if they want to, man.
Mm-hmm. And you still got Blake Griffin. Don't sleep on Blake Griffin.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin is still good.
About him.
He is still good. Blake Griffin is for sure good.
See, that's the dangerous thing. I've always talked about that. You got 3 guys that can take over a game. The Sixers only got 1. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Sixers only got 1. So when you face that, that's what you're facing. You're facing 3 guys that can take over a game, and then you're facing 1 guy that can take over a game. There's a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
But we're, like I said, we're now a pure defensive team. So I think their strategy is try to be play well on defense and get out on the break.
Yeah. All right, Eric. Throw Old City Sports and everything down low so everybody sees where they can go on our website because we're getting down to the end of the show.
Yes, sir.
Get that down there. Come check us out. So far, we have 4 shows on there. We have Red Light Hockey Podcast. That's hosted by Liam, Chad, and I forget. Let me see. I got my cheat sheet right here. What are you laughing at, huh?
We were showing the team logos off.
Red Light Hockey Podcast with co-hosts Liam, Chad, and Paul. Damn, sorry, Paul. It's all right, Paul. I'll get it next time. We got Flyers Alley with Jesse and Wade over there. We got my show, Backstabbers Wrestling Podcast. That's hosted by ACPW. That is it's been around, but it's now another upcoming wrestling organization in the Indies, and I'm sponsored by that. Yours truly. And then, of course, we have our show right here, The Complex, and we're looking for other shows eventually. We're trying to grow the network, and that's pretty much it. You guys got anything else?
No, man.
Kai?
No,
Great,
man, I'm
first,
good.
great first show. How do you feel, man?
No, we're good, man. We're good. Learning it, getting
Had
into
a
it.
good
You know what I
time
mean?
talking some Philly sports.
Yes, sir.
It was pretty friggin' awesome. What about you, Eric? You like Kai? Kai did it, didn't he?
Yeah, I'll say that he killed the
That was
Sixers
his
talk. He killed it right off the bat. He knows a lot more than I do, and I haven't been watching the Sixers that much lately.
I want to show this the complex shirt. There it is. It's beautiful. That's an XL on me. That's how it looks. We're gonna have to get that. My wife's actually selling all the shirts. Yeah, there it is. The complex, baby. 4 for 4. OCS complex. There we go. So I'm Willie Guns. That is Kyrie Goins. The scoreboard, Eric Moore. And we're done. We're out. Good day, people.